Hi, YouTube. So I'm in Colorado visiting family, and while I was in the state, I decided to swing by the Spyderco warehouse and factory store, which is in Golden, and I checked out some cool things like the Paysan, which has this integral handle, which is part of the reason it costs so much. And they have all kinds of stuff in the inventory there in the store, including the Subvert. Boy, that thing's a monster. And they have some things that are available only in the Spyderco outlet store, the warehouse factory outlet store. Um, so I picked up a few new items, and I'm going to show those to you today. I'm redubbing the audio of this video because the sound quality was pretty bad in my first take. So some things are not going to quite sync up exactly, but you'll get the hang of it. So yeah, I picked up four knives um, and a couple of little baubles and odds and ends, which I will also show you. Starting with this one, this is the Mule Team 2. So Mule Team knives are usually available only in a very limited supply. The idea is that they make a batch of knives that have this same blade profile in different steels, and you knife enthusiasts can get them and make handles for them, make sheaths for them, or buy a sheath that's available separately, um, and can try out the different steels. And so a lot of steels that end up on production model knives for Spyderco start off as Mule Team knives. But since those usually are pretty limited and they sell out quickly, people who are interested in making their own Spyderco from not a knife blank exactly, but an unfinished knife, a knife without a handle or a sheath, uh, can't just get one at any time of the year. And Spyderco has decided to change that and make one version of this knife that's just going to be in regular production. And to differentiate it from the other Mule Team knives, they're calling this one the Mule Team 2. It's always going to be in Spy 27, which is a proprietary steel that Crucible developed with Spyderco, and that is being used on various Spyderco knives now. Um, and they also gave this one a different blade profile than the regular Mule Team. This has got a straight spine, a clip point instead of the drop point that we see on the regular Mule Team knife. Um, so it's got a different profile. It won't fit the Bolteron sheath for the original Mule Team knives, but they do make one that will fit this, and it will fit the leather sheath that's available from Spyderco. Um, and I'll make some handles for this, and I'm excited to see how it compares to the other Mule Team knives that I already have. You can find on my channel videos for the Mule Team in M398 and in Rex 76, and there are some more Mule Team knives coming this year. There's one in 15V, there's one in T15 or something like that. There there are a few different ones that are expected in the not too distant future. But this one ought to be available all the time. It's only available from the Spyderco factory outlet, which you don't have to go there. You can call them or place an order online uh, to get one of these. But that's the only. It's not available at retailers. Um, I guess I will do a little cut here because I don't know what else I have to say about this. I'll set this aside. Okay, and I'll let you look at the paperwork that came with this knife. It tells you a little bit about Spy 27 as a steel. You can pause this if you want to read the whole letter. And it tells you about the Mule Team concept in general and about how this particular model is a little different because it's in regular production. Um, and yeah, there was a Spy 27 Mule Team knife uh, before there were Spy 27 folding knives. And so that's part of the reason they wanted to make sure that this one was different, and so they gave it a different profile. Um, Let me show you some other sprint and run knives that I got in this expedition to Golden. This is the Native Chief in M390. Elsewhere on my channel, you can find a video on the Native Chief in CTS XHP with an orange handle that was an exclusive for Cutlery Shop. This particular model is exclusive to the factory outlet, the Spyderco Factory Outlet. You can't get it at other retailers. There's two versions of it. There's this one in satin, and there's another one with a DLC black coating. And they both have brown G10 handles, and it is just a monster of a knife. It's just over 4 inches long on the blade. Some of that is finger choil though, so it doesn't have 4-inch cutting edge. And here is the little paperwork that came with it about this sprint run. So these are being produced in limited quantities. And you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to read all of that. It tells you about M390 as a blade steel, which is, very high quality steel, offering a good balance of edge retention and okay toughness and good stain resistance. And tells you all about this particular model. All right. All right, so we've also got here a Delica 4, two Delica 4s. Both of these in Aogami Superblue steel, Japanese powder metallurgy, very hard steel. It's a laminated blade, so you can see the laminate line there where the center core layer of steel joins the outer layers of softer steel, the SUS 410 steel for the outside of that sandwich. Superblue steel in the center. Very hard, but potentially fragile. Could chip or break. So that laminated process there with the outer layers being a different material should give it some additional toughness. This has also got Zome handles on and all the handles are going to be unique because of the way they produce these with dye that's sort of brushed in. And I've probably mispronounced this Zome before, but apparently it's Zome. But otherwise, it's the same material, just a different coloration. Kind of a camo look to it, navy camo. And it's got the bidirectional texture. And this will patina. That Superblue steel is very hard, but not stainless. So there'll definitely be a patina that develops over time on this blade. It's got oil on it now, as you can probably see in the video. And you can pause this if you'd like to read about this particular sprint run. And again, these are only available through the factory outlet. The other version of this has a titanium carbonitride black coating. And because I'm a maniac, I went ahead and picked that up too. And that's what's in this last box. Here we go. And so that's the same thing. You can see the laminate line on this too, even through the coating. There you go. And these are made in Seki City, Japan. This particular one I'm going to point out does not have the most even grind. You can see there's quite a bit higher grind line on the secondary edge. The secondary bevel is not even on the two different sides. But it is sharp. But yeah, not completely symmetrical. So little disappointing. but it's still very high quality steel and a pretty cool knife. So those are the four knives that I picked up in this visit to the factory outlet, and I got a few other odds and ends, which I will show you. I got these little knife display things, these acrylic jeweled looking things. I got Spyderco lapel pins. And Spyderco stickers, including some that are unique to the factory outlet. This one says Golden, Colorado. It's from a factory visit. And this one is 2023 factory outlet. Yeah. I also picked up a multiple buyer card. So for every $100 you spend on a Spyderco knife, you get a stamp on this thing at the factory outlet. And when you get to 10, you get a $50 credit. Uh, so yeah, I recommend you check out the factory outlet store in Golden, Colorado, if you are a Spyderco fan and you are in the vicinity. It's about a half an hour west of Denver, up in the mountains, and it's pretty. There's a railroad museum in that town, and other things to do. We got some pretty good burgers at a place called Bob's Atomic Burgers. Um, Check it out.